Welcome to the Jurassicraft mod. As you can see, we have a T-Rex here, we have a Spinosaurus over here, and we have so many more dinosaurs in this mod. Literally, it adds dozens of completely different dinosaurs, and all of them just look absolutely beautiful. It's without a doubt the best dinosaur mod I have ever seen for Minecraft. But you're probably wondering, how do you get your own dinosaurs? Well, for that, let's go to my lab. Okay, and here we are in our dinosaur production laboratory. So, the very first thing you're going to need before you can get a dinosaur is to go into a cave and find yourself one of these gypsum stone blocks. Now, mining them, simple enough. I'm pretty sure you can use any level of pickaxe, and it will give you some gypsum powder. Now, you need these to make plaster and bandages. Quite simple recipe. 4 papers, 4 gypsum powders, 1 piece of white wool, and that gives you 9 plaster and bandages. You then go and take these fossils, which spawn naturally in caves, but I have some pre-prepared for this. You put the plaster and bandage on top of them to create encased fossils. Then you get your pickaxe, or well, in my case, a drill. Mine them, and you're going to want to bring them over to one of these cleaning stations. Throw them in, and you'll see it actually rotates in the, machine. Honestly, there are so many cool little animations in this mod that it's just really good. Okay, so as you can see, this produces for you actual bones, teeth, just different skeleton parts of the dinosaur. Now, normally you take these, you'd throw them in a fossil grinder, and that will give you soft tissue and sometimes some other stuff. So I'll just give you an example here. So as you can see, it gives you some soft tissue for the dinosaur at hand. It might also give you bone meal, flint, I'm pretty sure it can give you gravel, all sorts of just miscellaneous blocks. But you're really looking for the soft tissue more than anything. But there is another way to go and get your hands on some bones, and that is to go out and kill a dinosaur. So as you can see here, I've got a dart gun prepared, and some euthanization darts that will kill the dinosaur after 10 seconds. Just fill it up, and then 1 shot, 1 kill. But I do just want to mention that dinosaurs don't naturally spawn in this mod. You do have the option to turn it on, but the dinosaur spawn rates are a bit finicky at the moment. So what I mean by that is that you'll find that in a lake, there'll be like 200 dinosaurs in a really small lake, and it'll just lag your server out. So personally, I recommend when you create the world, have it on, and then turn it off immediately after. And if the numbers go too low, just turn it off again. So this is just a Jurassic Park map that we've been building, me and my friend Martha, for quite a while now. I think we're on about week 13, I think we've been working on this for. So there's not actually any dinosaurs naturally spawning in this part of the park. But over by the jungle, and over along here in the mountains, there are. To help travel such distances, this mod does add 3 different vehicles, and we're going to be taking one of them now, the helicopter. So you just hold space, and when the RPM goes above the yellow bar, you will take off. There we go. Now, the controls are a bit finicky for this. You're supposed to use WASD and arrow keys at the same time. And there is a rotation lock that stops you from going lower, but you just need to be careful with that. So we're just going to fly out until we find our first dinosaurs. Hopefully, it won't take us too long. Okay, here we are. Now that we're at the jungle, I can see just a few dinosaurs down there. So, I'm going to try my best to land, being very careful not to jump out on accident, because I have done that plenty of times before. Here we go. Another happy landing. And over here we have the only non-dinosaur mob that this mod adds, goats. And these things are very cool. Later on, I'll show you a nice little idea of what you can do with goats to feed your dinosaurs. But anyway, let's just go find a dinosaur to kill. Ooh, I'm going to have to go with you, I'm afraid. Our Huenosaurus? Yeah, I know, I just probably butchered that name and disappointed some people quite a bit. So to fire, you simply right-click, and as you can see, it poisons the dinosaur. Here we are, the first one is dead, and you'll see it's dropped some meat. Now from there, if you just left-click on them, you'll start kicking up bones and pieces of meat from them. Pick them all up, you can even literally eat it. Once you've gone and put your bones into the fossil grinder and got some soft tissue, the next thing you're going to want to do is make some storage discs. Now, luckily, the recipe for these aren't too bad, just needing iron and gold nuggets and a single piece of redstone to make 2. So, you're going to go and take your storage discs. Why have I got meat in here? Who knows? Anyway, you throw the storage discs into a DNA sequencer and throw the tissue in. Here we go. Now, this is going to give you a storage disk with a certain percentage of the DNA quality. It's very rare that you actually get 100% like we have here. So I'm just going to show you what happens if you don't get 100%. All you need to do, throw the 2 discs into a DNA combiner until you get the correct amount. From here, you're going to take some DNA nucleotides, as well as some empty test tubes, and throw the storage disk into a DNA synthesizer. This is then going to give you the actual DNA for the dinosaur. Okay, with this Triceratops DNA, you're then going to throw it into an embryonic machine alongside some empty syringes and a petri dish. And this is going to give you the DNA in a syringe that you can then use to either impregnate an egg or put it into an incubator, depending on what you're trying to make. So here we are, we have a Triceratops syringe, and all you do, you throw it into the embryo calcification machine alongside an egg. However, that's not always what you need to do for every dinosaur. Some dinosaurs, especially the water ones, will have to go into a cultivator. And these are quite simple. All you need to do, instead of an egg, you throw some water in, you throw some meat or eggs or something in to get all of these bars all the way to the top, and you just do it in there. So you'll see we've got the egg here, but I can't place it down yet, and the reason for that is you need to put it into an incubator. But you see at the bottom here, we've got this peat moss. Now, to make peat moss, you need to go and find some peat and some moss that spawn naturally in the world. And if you set them up in a diagram like this, they'll eventually spread over time. So if you just want to pause the screen now, there's a little explanation on the screen of how the spreading of the moss works. So this is the incubator menu. You've got 5 slots to put in the eggs, and you've got the peat moss. Every time an egg is incubated, 1 peat moss is consumed. And this bar here determines gender, all the way to the left for a female, all the way to the right for a male, and somewhere along the middle for a 50-50 chance. So you throw the egg in there, and it does take quite a while for it to incubate, so I'll cut to when it's incubated. Just as a little side note, you can actually craft these little toy plushies that you can put around. They're just really cute and I like them. They're all the dinosaur models, just insanely shrunk down, and they're just awesome. The mod does also add a variety of trees and plants, and you get them in pretty much the exact same process as the dinosaurs, but instead of taking fossils, you just take plant fossils, so I'm not going to go over it. But here's some of the wood you can get, and just down in the biolab, here we have some of the plants currently growing. But let me show you what they look like actually out on display in a field. Out here, we have a little outdoor park cutway that we have between the aquatic zone and the small dino zone. So it's just a chance to really see a lot of these different plants on display. They are quite cool, and they do spread over time in a small area. And there you go, you'll have your very first egg incubated. So here, we obviously have a Triceratops egg, so let's go and place it down. Now, I have a spot in the park already prepared for it, up here in the top right. But, as you can see, that's quite away from here. So let's go and take the second of the 3 vehicles the mod adds. The Jeep Wrangler. And here we are, approaching the pen. Now, on this pen, I do have a sliding gate, and this isn't actually from the JurassicCraft mod, but it's from another mod called Funky Locomotion that adds sliding walls and stuff. So all you do is click the button, and this slides down. To be honest, if you are using the JurassicCraft mod, I can't recommend using Funky Locomotion enough, because it does add just a nice way to get in and out of the pens. But as you can see, there are actually some holes on this one because I've forgotten to fix it. And that is something that I do plan to do. It is on my ever-growing list of things I need to fix. Okay, and here we are inside the pen. Before we place it down, you're going to notice that we've got these wires along here. And what these are low security fence wires, basically electric fences. All you need to do to get them to work, like what we've got over there, is you need a fence base, some security fences, and then also these actual fence poles to run the power through to electrify the fence. Now, I don't really use it. If you're using a raptor pen, I think you need them because if I remember correctly, I do believe raptors can actually climb them. But anyway, let's place down the first dinosaur for this pen, the Triceratops. To be honest, the baby dinosaurs are actually quite cute as well. But if you don't want to keep them as a baby forever, you can use something called growth serum. And this is how you make it. Basically, all you need is one piece of cooked meat, one empty syringe, a golden carrot, and a water bucket. And that will instantly grow the dinosaur up to maximum health. Now, I have actually forgotten to bring one, so yeah. Luckily, I do actually have a storage system nearby, so I just quickly went and grabbed some growth serum. And I'm just going to wait for the Triceratops to move a little bit further away by telling it to follow me. And just in this menu, you can see there's 3 commands you can tell it to do. You can tell it to sit down, you can tell it to follow you, and you can also tell it to wander around. So let's just get you into maximum size, and as you can see, it is absolutely massive. Now, one thing I do need to make people aware of is that the follow command at the moment is a bit janky. It's something the mod developers need to work on. Some dinosaurs follow you fine, like this Triceratops seems to be doing a decent enough job, but as you can tell, it does struggle, especially when going over hills or through forests and stuff. It's really bad, the follow mechanic at the moment. So, we're just going to leave it to wander around. There is actually one more thing from this mod I want to show, and it actually involves the third vehicle from the mod, the Ford Explorer. Now, just like the film, you do actually have these tour vehicle tracks, which come in 4 different speed settings: medium, slow, fast, and the normal one. Now, to work these, all you need to do is hop into your Jeep Explorer and just drive on top of it. And it will basically just drive you around. It's a really nice little feature. Sometimes it can get a bit funny, like what you're seeing now, and throw you off. But for the most part, it works really well, and it's just something that I love. And that is the JurassicCraft mod. As I said at the beginning, I am confident that it is the best dinosaur mod for Minecraft. I mean, just look down and look at the size of that mosasaur. Even from this distance, you can see how cool it is. I cannot recommend enough downloading the mod, either through an older version on CurseForge or whatever mod installer you want to use, or if you want to get the newest versions, subscribing to the mod creator's Patreon. Now, before I leave, I did say I would show you something you could do with the goats, and here we are. If you've enjoyed this mod showcase, or just enjoy the mod at all, you might want to watch our series Creating Jurassic Park in Minecraft, because you'll get to see the mod in action on a survival basis, and how the mod interacts with some other quite popular mods. Well anyway, until next time.